Video 12 of 99. Mick Hawes from Builder's Business Black Belt. Just on a challenge to do 99, 99, 90. I'm going to do more. No, I probably will. We'll get momentum now. But 90, that was the challenge. A video a day, 7 days a week for 90 days. Focused around principles that I would like to learn at a deeper level, and trying to use the Feynman method and the principle of we teach what we most need to learn as the fundamental reason why I'm doing this. And hopefully you might watch it and you might get some value out of it too. Hope that happens. Many moons ago, obviously because he's no longer around, Peter Brock, racing car driver, and he probably didn't this saying, but I just heard it from him. And he had a philosophy of slow is smooth and smooth is fast. And if you unpack it, it doesn't really make a lot of sense. But when you apply it to how you make decisions and how you run your business, it is very valuable. And what I mean by that is that often there's this sense of urgency to get things done in a business, a sense of impatience. You might find something that is a problem in your business and you want to get it fixed, or something goes wrong in your business and you leap out of your chair to fix it, quite with knee-jerk reactions. And this principle of slow is smooth and smooth is fast, I think can be really applied to so many things, particularly your decision-making and your reactions or responses to things not working well or problems that you want to fix in your business. It can be quite profound. And it was maybe, I don't know, a couple of months ago, we were on one of our Builder's Business Black Belt Momentum calls, and one of the members at the time had been listening to Mel Robbins. And she was talking about what she'd learned from Mel about the biochemistry of an emotion. And so when something happens, you get the phone call and that client has cancelled their order, or that you're really busy and one of the team rings up and says they're not coming in today, or something that's meant to be delivered isn't delivered and it holds things up. Like that, you name it. There's so many issues that can happen in a business that the instant that you become aware of that situation, something happens in your body. Like your body chemistry shifts and changes, and you experience a shift in your breathing, a shift in the muscle tension in your body, in your neck, in your face. But there is a biochemistry happening, and it could be anger, it could be frustration, it could be fear, you name it. But what our black belt member was helping us to understand that she'd learnt off Mel Robbins is that if you don't do anything to hit the reset button, and what I mean by that is, if you've ever been in hospital and you've got the morphine button or whatever it is, and you need some more pain relief and you hit the button, there's, I think, something similar that happens when you're put in a situation where the shit's hit the fan and you're angry or frustrated or upset in some way. And the thoughts that you have and potentially the actions that you take, and you leap out of your chair and start to talk to somebody else about it, it's like the equivalent of hitting that reset button and starting again and start continuing on with the frustration or the fear or the anger. And it can last a long time for most people. Some people live in that state all the time. But what we were being helped to understand is Mel was saying that if you just sit there and allow the emotion to flow through you and don't try and stop it, don't try and justify it, don't try and fix the problem, don't start thinking I'm going to tear them a new one, all that sort of stuff, just sit there and allow that emotion to take its course. She's saying if you don't reactivate it, if you don't do anything to stimulate it, it'll last around about 90 seconds, minute and a half. And ever since I learned about this from that black belt member, I have been endeavouring to implement it. And I'm here to tell you, for the most part at work, if you don't do anything to re-establish or fan the fire, if you like, it does dissipate quite quickly, a lot quicker than you would think. And that gets you the opportunity to jump into what I learned from Stephen Covey is the gap between stimulus and response. So there's a stimulus, something goes wrong, and then there is a response. But us humans have a gap that we can jump into, and we can choose our response. Most animals, they work on instinct, so they don't get the opportunity to choose their response. We do. If you don't get in the gap, if you don't allow that just to settle before you have a response, what happens is that the gap between your stimulus and response gets smaller and smaller. The more often you jump into that gap and allow the emotion to pass, and then have an informed discussion with yourself and work things out and go, really, what is the problem? What would be the best solution? That gap between stimulus and response gets bigger. And why this is a manifestation, or how this saying, the Peter Brock saying that slow is smooth and smooth is fast, is that it might seem like you're not doing anything. You're just sitting there and doing nothing and letting it pass, and then deciding what to do. And you might think that the clock's ticking and you're wasting time. However, the reality of the situation is, if you practice this and you get good at it and you become a master of this process, what will happen is you will make better decisions. Therefore, your response to the situation will be of a higher quality. Therefore, many problems that, if you didn't do this, will exist in your future, and they will steal your time. They will steal your energy. By making a knee-jerk reaction like most of us often do without thinking, I'll get that bastard, I'll fix this, I'll leap into that. That can cause many ripple effect problems down the track that will now take your time and your effort and your energy to fix. And then you seem to not have the time available to work on the things that are the high levers in your business, the things that you should be doing, the quadrant 2 activities that Stephen Covey calls the activities that don't have a lot of urgency, but they're incredibly critical to the success of your life and your business. They don't seem to get your attention. So you get in this whirlwind, you get in this Groundhog Day. It just repeats and repeats. And slow is smooth and smooth is fast can actually be implemented in your business by creating a practice that when you get the news, when you become aware of a problem, you just sit there and let the emotion happen. Other people around you might think, what the hell's wrong with that person? Check for breathing. Are they still alive? But that's what you need to do, is just sit and allow it to happen. Don't make any decisions. Don't take any actions. And you will find within a minute and a half to 2 minutes, that will have dissipated, and you will have the space to make a far more informed decision, or at least start the thinking process and unpack actually what the problem is, and come up with an appropriate solution, and therefore avoiding a whole lot of unnecessary extra problems down the track that were caused by the knee-jerk reaction. I'm sure if you're listening to this right now, you can look back, maybe not all of that far, where something's happened and you're flown off the handle, and your reaction to it has had a flow-on effect of causing additional problems rather than just fixing the one problem that you were trying to address. Anyway, that is video 12 out of 90. I hope it made sense. I'd love to have a conversation with you if this is making sense to you and these videos are helpful. Let's jump into the messaging system in LinkedIn. Let's make a connection. Let's have a conversation and see how this stuff can help you and your business. No big deal to have a conversation. I like making connections. I like having conversations with people. If we can help, I learn so much by just having conversations with other people and hearing of their ideas and their inspiration and their experiences. I think it's a great thing to share. So look forward to your comments. Look forward to connecting. Talk to you in what most people might say, video unlucky 13. I think it'll be a lucky video. I have that feeling. So I'll see you in video 13. Bye for now.